and welcome to Getting Your Money's Worth, the show that focuses on value. I'm Judith West, and our guest today is Bouchard, author of Dynamic Components of Personal Power. Hi, Jim. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks so much.
We've had several people talk about power and how to be successful at it, but you're a first. You're the first one who's here as a black belt guy.
Oh,
right. Okay. So I want to go right to that.
Okay.
You learned about power, and
Yes.
and that's your and the platform on which you speak about power is as a karate guy.
Absolutely.
So give us a little background about that.
Well, through my life as a martial artist, I was really trying to explore what the components of power were, just to apply them to punching and kicking and self-defense techniques. And the more I studied it, the more I researched it, I realized that I was applying the same components in my own life, you see, in business life and in personal life.
Okay, so what are those components? Are they a secret, or can you tell us?
No, they're not a secret.
Okay.
Absolutely, we'll talk about it.
Let's let the world know how to be powerful.
It's really very simple, and I didn't invent these things. It's just that I identified them, I guess.
Okay.
But any successful person I would talk to we'd isolate these same components.
Okay.
First is the source of human power, and I use an energy triangle to represent that.
So you have a source of human power.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that?
Well, power is our capacity or our ability to act or perform effectively, see? So we need a source, and our source is energetic, and that's in body, mind, and spirit. We have to nourish those sources. We have to cultivate those sources.
So it comes from within.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I want to, before we go on to the, just want to say a minute. I'm not sure whether it's what's the chicken and what's the egg here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I want to go there. Do you have to be successful to be powerful, or are you trying to say that you can be powerful before you're successful?
What I found in my life.
Tell me. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me personally. I'd like to know.
Well, the way I define and use that word power, you have to be powerful before you can be successful.
Power comes from success. But
Well,
I thought that's how you got power, by being a successful person and maybe having money. You have to have money to be powerful.
Oh, that's one of my 5 lies. No.
Lies? 5?
Yes. Money, a lot of people think money is power, and I say no, it's not. It's a resource. It's a very essential resource to develop power. Okay, but it's not power in and of itself.
Okay, I have to say I'm not convinced. Convince me.
I absolutely will. Here's the deal. If you don't develop your capacity or your ability to achieve...
capacity? Is that like an internal engine or something? What is that capacity?
Belief, self-belief is a huge part of it.
Believing in yourself?
Yeah,
Believing in yourself, okay.
Yeah, you know, for a long time in my life, I didn't have that core belief. So I did an awful lot of things and actually had some successes, didn't even realize it.
Yeah. We have a hard time in this country teaching people to believe in themselves.
Oh.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because so many of the institutions that we go to, starting with kids and school, tend to do nothing but erase our confidence in ourselves.
Yeah. Well, we have to use 2 dirty words, if we don't mind. Personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
That's largely been lost in our teaching process. The student, the old martial arts saying that the teacher's job is to teach. The student's job, the student's responsibility is to learn. Isn't that upside down so much in our culture these days?
Well, I can see how it will be. I can see now where the black belt comes in, because there's no debate about that. As you learn these martial arts, it is to take care, to be responsible for yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, so so far you're getting warm. So keep going.
We need more triangles.
Right,
okay. The next one is the Kung Fu triangle, and that talks about how we develop power. And there's 3 legs to that as well, 3 components: motivation and discipline applied over time.
Motivation and discipline.
And we should say self-motivation and discipline. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And motivation is another word for for belief in yourself.
What is it that sets your heart and your mind singing, right? That will eventually get your body, your physical self, to get out there and do the work that's necessary. Because that's the missing link sometimes.
Is it the gratification that comes from a job well done?
Can be.
Right.
Can be. But again, the only person responsible for my success is the guy brushing his teeth in the mirror every morning.
I know. I want to say that one more time. I love that line. The person's responsible for my success, for your power is the same
guy brushing my teeth in the
face
mirror.
that you see brushing the teeth in the mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got to take charge at some point. Absolutely. And that's the personal responsibility element. Are we waiting for other people to grant us power? See, power, our capacity or ability is there for us to develop all the time.
Well, okay, so do you just get out of bed in the morning and say, I'm going to be powerful, Jim?
That's not a bad thing to do, is it?
No, it isn't. No. But I'm not sure that many folks would do it.
It's again, that speaks to that component of discipline. All these things require work. And maybe that's where some people will disagree with me. But I'm going to say, from the School of Hard Knocks, we've got to do the work. And it's work to get up in the morning and be thankful. That's the first step.
Right.
Then once we see what we have around us, those are the resources we can access in that day and in that time to take a little step further towards our goals.
Right. Yeah. Well, relating that to, this personal responsibility and getting up in the morning and saying you're going to be responsible for yourself, relating that to the martial arts.
Right.
It's a bit like learning how to take the first jab or give the first jab.
Yeah.
You're a little timid at first, but then you get more skilled in the practice of the art.
Well, don't some people avoid the idea of success because of fear or complacency?
Oh, well,
and the fear elements there, and
fear of rejection, I suppose.
Sure,
right?
fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of
right.
what other people might think.
Right.
But courage isn't the absence of fear. I mean, I don't, as far as I'm concerned, people that have no fear are stupid. They're not courageous.
Exactly.
Yeah, courage is doing what we need to do in the face of that fear.
Right.
And again, that requires practice. That's the secret of the martial arts anyway, is practice.
It's practice,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So you have a twist here. I don't know if anybody ever spoke before about practicing how to live, practicing how to be successful, practicing life, right? But it's not a bad idea. I'm getting convinced.
You're getting convinced?
I'm getting convinced it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
How do you these techniques, these components that you talk about, the exercise, how do you suggest that people use them?
That brings us to the third triangle. I'm going to take you with me everywhere.
Okay, good. We're a good team.
The power triangle, which really represents how we apply the power once we develop it. And that speaks to balance, focus, and timing.
Balance, focus
and timing. And those are the things of fighter practices. It's just as applicable in business or personal life.
When you talk about balance, you talk about really about balance on your feet or balance in how you organize yourself. What kind of balance?
It's the same concept in any area of your life. But see, as a fighter, I use the word balance. A lot of people prefer harmony, thinking that balance is static. Well, balance isn't static. It's in a dynamic sense. It's just that in the ring, we don't talk much about harmony, right?
When I think about balance, I think about the seesaw in the playground.
Right.
I mean, you can get it in perfect balance, and all somebody has to do is sneeze, and the balance is off. So it's a very changing dynamic all the time.
Right. Well, and I'm preaching to the choir. I mean, having read your story a little bit.
Well, you're not talking to me. No, I certainly can use it. You know something? I just want to say one thing, Jim.
Yeah.
Even successful people fail.
Oh, all the time.
If you do all these things, it doesn't mean you're going to have a 100% perfection every day, does it?
No, and that's the idea of balance. See, successful people fail most of the time.
Yeah.
They're the ones
Why is that?
Because they're out there taking a chance, right? We have two options. Every day when we go out in the world, we can quit or we can face it.
Right.
And when we face it, we're going to fail from time to time.
Right.
But there's a difference between the failure, lowercase f, right, which is part of lesson and part of what we're going to experience in life, and the uppercase F.
Right.
That great lesson from Apollo 13, failure is not an option.
Failure is not an option.
Right, that's the ultimate failure, where we're going to quit. No, certainly, successful people do fail. They take the lessons, they keep moving, just like a fighter that takes the knocks and keeps on going.
And keeps on going.
Yeah,
I suppose it's like, you fall on your face and you pick yourself up and you keep on.
Isn't that obvious?
Yeah. and you keep on going.
Right.
You keep on going.
Knock down 7 times, get up 8.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how you took this pursuit of yours. I want to say hobby, but it's more than a hobby. It's a core belief.
Most people that
it's almost like a religion with you.
Most people that get serious about martial arts integrate it into their person, right? It becomes part of us. Religion, I guess it would have religious connotations to it, but no, I don't talk about religion as much. Anybody can apply these components. It doesn't matter what faith or religion.
Can you start this at any age?
The martial arts?
Well, no, the practicing success, practicing life.
Why not?
Well, I don't know.
Why not?
I mean, can you do it? Can you do it when you're feeling down and you're older and you're wondering what's left for you in life?
Any age, yes. And, I'll relate it to a story. I was teaching a group of 3 to 6-year-olds, and I was talking to them about respect, about perseverance. And one of the parents came up to me and said, they don't really understand those words. I said, they may not understand all the nuances yet, but when do you want them to start hearing them, right? And I believe, though, very young people have a sense of wonder, so they embrace those concepts.
I believe it too. One of the things I did for a living, among others, was teach school. And I remember my mentor said to me when I was doing my internship that the best desk is the kitchen table. And those kind of things that are learned in the home.
Right.
But there are a lot of Americans think today, and I want to wrap up on that high note, that generations coming up have this sense of entitlement.
There's another dirty word.
How does your components impact on that or counteract that?
We're entitled to only one thing, and that's opportunity.
Right, and we are entitled to that.
We are entitled to that, and it's a blessing, and we should appreciate it. But other than that, what are we really entitled to, you see? We're back to hard work. We're back to the failure. But look, I'm smiling. I mean, failure, you've read my story. I've had a few hard knocks in my life.
Yeah, so you're not the only one. So many of us.
Right, it's so much fun. I mean, not in the moment, I'm not trying to minimize the hardships. But if we can look at it and just say, hey, I got a little bit more out of life from that experience, and I can take that.
Well, I have to say, and I'll wrap up. I mean, I like your story. I like what you do, and those failures that you're talking about, those hard knocks, have a way of making the successes that much sweeter.
Oh, don't they?
Right. Yeah. Thanks. I like your story. I'm Judith West, bringing you your money's worth. For more value, watch my website, gettingyourmoneysworthnyc.com. Thanks for watching.